we talk about H5N1 and we talk about all the different subtypes that are out there, they all still fit under this H5N1 rubric. But the problem is that they have other mutations in them that don't take them into a different H class or a different N class, but they do change the activity of the virus, its transmissibility and its virulence, and what types of cells in a animal's body it can infect successfully. And those are the aspects that are constantly being manipulated in these labs. The most prominent labs right now in this issue are the Southeast Poultry Research Laboratory in Athens, Georgia, that is a USDA lab, and which has been well known to be doing, for want of a better term, it's a rough term, but it's still useful because people have a general idea of what it is, gain of function research on H5N1 bird flu. The other two really notorious ones in the world, one of them is at the University of Wisconsin with Yoshihiro Kawaoka, who's a Japanese national PhD, who's been there for over 20 years. It's at the veterinary school at University of Wisconsin. And they have done all kinds of gain of function style research on the H5N1 bird flu over the last 20 years or so. And he is a longtime collaborator with another PhD who's based in the Netherlands at Erasmus University in the Netherlands by the name of Ron Fauci. And the two of them were doing truly alarming gain of function studies on the H5N1 virus back in the early 2010s. This is a long time ago. And it was so alarming, this will surprise some listeners, that even people like Ronald Plotnick, who's sort of the father of modern vaccines, wrote the classic vaccinology textbook, and I call him Paul for-profit Offit, who is the constant figure on TV, kind of waxing back and forth between reasonable views and ridiculous Peter Hotez type insanity. And both of these guys were among the 20 vaccinologists and virologists who were so alarmed by the gain of function work that Yoshihiro Kawaoka and Ron Fauci were doing, that they wrote an urgent letter to President Obama and said, this has got to stop. And that was the source of the fairly well-known 2014 temporary ban that Obama put on gain of function virology research in the United States. Now, of course, we go on to know that Fauci sidestepped the whole thing, basically just ignored it for the coronavirus research that was being done at places like University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, where Ralph Barrick is, and at later, once it was built, at Wuhan.